Hi, good morning, good day, buenos dias, buenas noches. Who knows us where you are? I worked at a place one time and they had this. My name is Standing Turtle. I decided. That's it. I've always identified with turtles my whole life. Only I spelled it different, Turtil, because it made sense to me in my mind. And Mom watches Longmire, and I've gotten bits and pieces of it. They talk about the storyline, Heyoka and the thunder beings, and all of the things that I believe in. And all the things that are coming to light now, like with the child trafficking stuff and things like that, and like the man camps and all the stuff. That's why the child. You have man camps, and then you have small communities where men go missing because men do what they want to feed their ego. And so all this stuff is coming out, and then the bosses know about it, but they got to keep their men happy and morale up and stuff like that. So yeah, all this stuff, it just goes. Women become sources of pleasure to men, and all this stuff goes unreported anyway. The storyline is Standing Bear. There's a character called Standing Bear, and and then someone's talking about a story. When you see a standing bear, you don't need to run. She's protecting her mother. She's like on lookout, but she tells it better. I'm not going to tell it here. It's their story. Um, it's a good show. I recommend it to open up. And they have all the ideologies, the wounded warrior, the broken wounded warrior, and then even the chick with daddy issues. You got something for everybody in there. The jock that had everything in his in the fall of his ego, and what ruthless men will do for money. It's just it's a little it's really poignant, I think. And so I was thinking about it, and I've always and I got Googled it. I'm like, standing turtle. I was like, standing turtle. And I looked up, and there's some pictures and stuff, but there's not like really any ideology about any kind of a standing turtle. One ever does it every now and again. I think I can. I think I can. I'll do it. And, I got a little pot belly, and as long as I can remember, I carried a backpack on my shoulder. Because we always were on the run, had to go, bug out, it's in me. So it's like I identify with the turtle and what the turtle represents in the animal totem, too, I can't remember off the top of my head, and I should have looked it up before I started this talk. But it'll give me something to do later. Well, I could do it right now. So, standing turtle. That's my name. Marge has worked fine. But it's time for something new. Okay, I did have a really cool exchange with Mom, and a nice realization this morning, and she got up and around. She doesn't wake up real good. It takes her a while to wake up, and I have a lot of brash energies. I have a lot of energies, and to people that don't like energy, energy is just brash, can be. And so I'm a little much for her in the morning. So I try to keep it down, do these talks, get out some of my stuff, instead of giving it to her all at once. Let her wake up a little bit. And then I'll go make her breakfast. That seems to be a pattern that she likes, because she's just all patterns. She's just all the same pattern. I need more patterns than she needs. I need way more. That's why I'm always trying to educate myself on stuff and people's patterns, because people tell us who they are. They do the same thing over and over and over and over, unless they do something different. And people that don't do things different don't like people like me, because they're like, oh no, they don't know what she's gonna do. Well, I know what you're gonna do, and you're boring as fuck. How's that? Turtle totem is the oldest symbol for the earth, representing the personification of goddess energy and the eternal life-giving mother planet. A turtle shell is its home and its protection. Turtle totem may provide a protective shield. You represent a safe haven or home for you. I think standing turtle is appropriate. For me, that's powerful, man. That's powerful. Wow, that stuff you just gotta allow, man. You just gotta let that energy flow right through you. That's the kind of energy when I have realizations like this, that powerful energy that just tells me that my life is alignment. Because I used to be skittish and I used to be scared because the frequency of, adrenaline was always tied to catastrophic and terrorizing events, and it wasn't like kind and loving. And I think about society today, I'm like, look at the range of spectrum of people and their emotions that they have in society now. Really, what are the big booms in life that you have? What are the range? What is somebody's full spectrum of an average human being in society today, of the best day of your life and the worst day of your life? What is that range? Take time to look at that full spectrum. Or all of the days of your life just been the same? Have they all been the same? For some people, the same day of their life is okay. Mom likes to get out. Yesterday we went for a walk. I got a really good snap of her. I got one and she looked troubled and like startled, almost. And I said, "Mom, smile." And her face lit up, and I got a nice snap of her. Well, I just got 2 pictures, and one I'll probably delete because it's just not flattering. So, she hasn't been out, I don't think, in probably a couple. She goes out in the backyard with her little dog, but like out on the street and stuff like that, it's been a couple months. And we just walk up to the street light and then come. We didn't even make it because it was windy. And the sidewalk is all wonky, but they keep painting the streets on the lines, but the sidewalk's all wonky, so I gotta hang on to her arm because she walks like the ground is flat, like, it should be, and then the roots and the trees grow and things evolve and change, and well, all the city planners are just too busy paying themselves, telling people how they're planning to do things, but never really fix anything. We won't get into that. So I had a really cool exchange with Ma this morning. Luna wants out. She wants to go say hi. I'm coming, girl. You got it, baby girl. What's up? I'll be there in a minute. Go tell her to get stitches. Okay, so I had a cool exchange with Mom this morning because I don't have kids, okay? I never birthed children. I love children. I'm a child at heart, and that's one of the reasons why I have such a hard time in life, is because I'm just child at heart. I'm plenty grown up too, but that's an aspect that I always use first before anything else. And so Mom came in this morning and she was just like, waking up, and I was like, "Good morning." And she's, "Good morning. Did you sleep good?" "Oh yeah, I slept sound. Did you sleep good?" "Oh yeah. We stretch." "Oh, okay." And she's just like, "Oh, like a little girl. Like a little girl." And that's what people are starting to realize, is we evolve. But she had a hard time in life in the beginning. She was born with club feet. So I got to resolve that karmic lineage in our ancestral. I won't go into the whole story, but so I got to run in the Air Force on tendons that were torn, because I didn't have my tendon surgery until the year before I got out. So I always ran, and all the works out I had to do, I did that on severed tendons. My tendons weren't attached to my ankle. They rolled all the time. So hers were over attached, and it made them so, like, moving her feet hurt, and they would stretch them and pull them apart and exercise them and do all this pain stuff, So now I just wash her feet and put, lotion and change her socks and stuff like that. We don't do all that. We go for walks, but the feet are very important. That's what grounds you to earth. you know, and her grounding was always unstable, and so, you know, so was mine. I don't got no earth in my chart. Well, anyway, so it was just a sweet, you know, is that we're given gifts, even though I didn't have the gift of like, because I didn't want it. I don't want it. I mean, yeah, there's parts of me that would have are curious and would have like, okay, that would have been cool to be a mother, but there's plenty of incarnations past that I did it. I don't need to do it this one, and it's not what my life path is this time. So, but I still get the benefits of it, and I wouldn't have gotten that if I would have stayed mad at her. If I would have lived in my anger and lived from my ego and grown more, instead of growing more into that child space of mine that I got, that's gonna benefit me in life, that has benefited me in life, I could have grown an ego and just been mad at her, and I would have missed out on all this stuff. You know? She's just a little tiny little lady, you know, and she looks like, and she's starting to get the little old lady hump, and I'm like starting to be cognizant, like I'll catch her napping in her chair, and she leans up against the chair. I'm like, Mom, you gotta keep it even. You can nap like that, but sometimes you gotta nap the other way too, because that's how their structures get wonky, you know. And I'm cognizant of all this, man. I'm excited for all the people that I can help. You know, just like putting, you know, people that have different able abilities of all ages, you know, in homes, like me, autistic, you know, what is it, Alzheimer, whatever, you know, people just have deficits, whether it's psychological, physical, emotional, you know, I mean, people block out things just on purpose, you know, they do it every day, all the time. So, yesterday, well, Feliz Cumpleaños, yesterday. I love birthdays. They're my favorite, only, like, holiday. I love birthdays. I love planning birthday parties. I've done surprise parties. I love celebrating people's lives, that they're here, that they count. Even, like, Mom had, like, she's had all kinds of health problems, but one time, when her rectum prolapsed, that was a hard day. That she was in the hospital for a month. That was hard covering for myself for that one. Back and forth from Central Valley to Redding for a month. I'd go hang out. I'd hang out with her and crawl into the hospital bed, and we'd watch the Golden Girls on cable in the hospital because we didn't have cable at home. So, because she had, you know, that happened, and then she had surgery, and then there were lesions, or there was a problem with the surgery. She could have freaking malpractice suit, but she was poor, so she just got swept under the rug, you know. People like us aren't whatever. Anyway, so that was a hard life lesson. I was about 16 when that one happened. But yeah, no one was around for that either. Which brings me into the present. When we were on our walk yesterday, she about doubled over laughing so hard. People are like, I'm like, yeah, Mom, everybody, we haven't had running water in 3 years, but just think, everybody's wearing a mask for us. She about dropped sass, her little dog. She's just, thanks for wearing a mask for us. You know, maybe you could have passed a hat. I'm still paying down this $1,300 water bill, and now I gotta move. Oh my God, people are gonna feel so stupid here in a couple months. Actually, they won't. Actually, they won't feel stupid. And they're not supposed to feel stupid, you know? For years, I was in the fucking United States Air Force. I was the ultimate sheep. I cannot condemn people for doing things that I've done. I was getting sad this morning because of all the exposure, all the creepy creepertons of Hollywood, you know, these people, because I get a lot of solace and a lot of, like, connections from things, synchronicities I get in movies, and I've just always followed movies, you know, and the thing of it is people they didn't go into their heart space, they went into their ego and people do creepy things in ego and chasing sensations and stuff like that just to feel good. It's gross, man. It's gross. That is no vibrational behavior. Zero vibe. No vibe. No vibe. You got no conscience. You do things to kids. You got no spirit. You do things for that much money, and you shit on people every day when there's so many people that need things like utilities, help with moving, places to live. Actually, was more than tents across the street from $80 million police stations in downtown Oregon. Salem. People my whole life have told me the things to be afraid of, and all this stuff that they were told me to be afraid of, that wasn't the reality of the things that I needed to be afraid of, because I was raped when I was 10 months old. They don't talk about that. It happened to me, and all the other abuse that happened, and all the accounts that I saw of my mother getting sexually assaulted because men take what they want, and when they drink, their ego escapes, or sometimes they just do it without escaping their ego. Their ego is so prominent that they just take what they want because they can, because mommy and daddy told them that they couldn't ever do anything wrong. So in their minds, they're not wrong. They are justified. It's no vibrational thinking. It ain't all love and light, kids. College World Series, sex trafficking event, one of the biggest the Jesuits, the Masonics, all that stuff. They all could have taken it to the heart space of the child to save the child, but they took it to the heart space to do the child, and now they are all going to fall. Pro sports, all of it, ego feeding. I don't care who your fucking favorite team is. It's all ego. It's modern day Goliath, where the 500 years people used to take their kids to the Saturday night fights, and they would fight to the death, and ooh, how fun! Glorifying violence and death, and now we're about to celebrate the 4th of July, where the rockets red glare. You're blowing up people, you're killing people, you're bombing the planet. The earth is a spirit. Bombing, that is representations that people celebrate and liberate every year, while every year they sacrifice more and more freedoms. More and more freedoms. That's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day.